We're going to travel on many different roads throughout our life, and oftentimes we'll be looking at a fork where we can go one way or the other, but not both. Should I go to college or work and save money? Is it a good time to buy a house? Should I risk my independence by dating this person? For a lot of people, including myself, these choices can be nerve-wracking because we don't want to make the wrong decisions. Some decisions are big and no one would blame you for seriously considering the consequences. We can get torn in so many different directions when we get caught up speculating about the future that we end up thinking in terms of all or nothing.
When we're in this bind, sometimes the best thing you can do is just make a decision. And if you don't believe me, well then grab yourself a second breakfast because this is Media Philosophy exploring the deeper side of decision making with The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
The entire trilogy is such a masterpiece, but there's something about the ending that is really touching. We have these two characters, Sam and Frodo, who go through so much together, and ultimately, when all is said and done, they head down separate paths. Frodo chooses a life full of adventure while Sam starts a family. And the best part is how each choice is filled with its own ups and downs, challenges and rewards. On one hand, we have Frodo, who is going off to new territories to face and discover the unknowns. He'll join others and overcome conflicts, which will ultimately bring them all closer together. Yes, there will be hard times, but through these conflicts, their bonds will strengthen. And Sam, he's more or less doing the same thing. He'll face challenges of fatherhood and discover joys and fears that only those with families understand.
Neither one will lead a richer life than the other because, more or less, life will be filled with the same level of joy.
I bet Frodo would have been just as happy staying in the Shire and starting a family, and Sam could have faced the wonders of the world. That's because life is made up of small moments, both good and bad. Our goal when making a decision shouldn't be for happiness, because it's impossible to always be happy. Instead, our choices should revolve around the idea of being on the pursuit of happiness. When you realize that the potential for satisfaction is equal across all possibilities, it takes a lot of the pressure off.
And I have to clarify that we're talking about those few big decisions that shape life, not those everyday small choices that we're faced with. But I gotta admit, nothing stresses me out more than the little stuff like ordering food out.
Salad. No, wait, soup! But it was too late.
There's a big difference between deciding to stay in your home state or to move across country and choosing the right breakfast cereal.
It's Cheerios, by the way.
The difference being that the small choices today can either positively or negatively affect your life. Daily decisions such as eating poorly, smoking, and a lack of exercise can seriously impact your overall well-being. While I truly believe that anyone can be satisfied either having children or staying child-free, I don't think trying crack is going to amount to anything. Well, unless you're Jordan Belfort.
Let's run like we're fucking lions and tigers and bears!
Our everyday choices become habits, and some habits are healthier than others. So, once we make these large, life-altering decisions, we still need to be mindful of the smaller ones.
Some of you are probably thinking, this is dumb. I know plenty of people who either chose a career path they hate or started a family they regret. And in those cases, I say that if you're gonna make such a big decision, you have to fully embrace it.
At the end of Return of the King, Sam seems to be sad and even doubting the path that he's on. But he gets a sound piece of advice.
My dear Sam, you cannot always be torn in two. You will have to be one and a whole for many years.
This is a small but profound line. We can't be in two places at once. After you let go of the other choice, the path becomes clear. Failing to do so will only cloud your mind and distract you from the task at hand. If you choose the life of a starving artist, but keep thinking about going to business school and working some office job, then you're just going to fail at both because you won't focus on your art and you won't be in school. This is the sort of hemming and hawing that will drive you crazy.
What do I do? What do I do?
If Sam was too busy fretting over whether or not he should have continued adventuring, then he couldn't fully be present as a father.
That's why when you make a big decision, you have to commit. I mean, is there anything more annoying than a friend who breaks up with someone and then immediately regrets it?
There's no way to predict the future. The only thing you can do is to make a decision based on pure intentions. Sam loved Rosie and wanted to ask her out for years. Frodo got a taste for adventure and wanted more. Both of them chose based on specific intentions. YOLOing all your money on some cryptocurrency in hopes to get rich quick could bite you in the ass. But electing to be a stay-at-home parent because you love your family is a noble endeavor.
When you're on the cusp of a big decision, it's important to take a deep breath and remember, life is made up of small moments of joy and despair. So not one choice is going to make or break you. It's more important to focus on those daily decisions, as those will help shape who you are. And when you do make a decision, it's important to fully embrace it. Otherwise, you're not doing yourself any favors. This has been Media Philosophy, examining the deeper side of entertainment. Timmy, get down. Get off.